Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much everyone for giving a great response for the video which I uploaded on YouTube a few days ago. I have been receiving hundreds of messages on Facebook, of course on YouTube as well. My inbox is full of messages, and even some people have even messaged me through WhatsApp and thanking me for uploading the recipes and giving it back to the community and all that. So first of all, thank you so much everyone for doing that and appreciating it. I'm gonna tell you one thing, that why I'm doing all this. It's not like about sharing the recipe, because if I have to share a recipe, I can just upload the recipe on my Facebook page and then you guys can follow it. That's about it. But it's not about that. I want to walk you through the whole baking process, that how the whole baking works. Because if you are adding ingredients in the recipe, so there is a reason behind that, like why we are adding this. If you try to understand the main concept, the main history behind that, so it will be more fun for you guys as well. I can guarantee you, everyone's asking the recipe for banana bread. If you Google banana bread on if you search banana bread on Google, you'll find like millions of recipes there. Like, I don't have anything specific, or I'm not doing anything special. It's just like a procedure what you have to follow. I'm pretty sure, like, if I give you one recipe and three people follow the same recipe, I am pretty sure and I can guarantee you that each and every product, the final product, will be different from each other, even though they have followed the same recipe. It's the procedure, it's what you go through. So my main mission is to walk you through the whole thing, that why are we adding all these ingredients, what's gonna happen like during the mixing time, what's gonna happen in the oven time. So that is the main reason behind this. So I thought, like, we'll start up with the basic recipe first of all, which each and every person will enjoy at home as well, which we are gonna start for chocolate chip cookies. And I'm pretty sure kids love those. Like, it's best to have chocolate chip cookies fresh from the oven. I'm pretty sure you don't have to go to this to stores to buy those store-bought cookies, which have like so many preservatives in there and so much stuff. Like, why not have basic fresh ingredients and enjoy fresh cookies right from the oven at home? So that's what we are going to do today. We are going to make chocolate chip cookies, and the next video, which I'm going to upload later on after a few days, I'm going to tell you everything why we added all these ingredients. So today we'll try to keep it as basic as possible. So what I have already weighed up the ingredients. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Most people prefer doing it in grams. Some people prefer doing cups, using cups or the measuring spoons. I prefer measuring my ingredients using the grammage. It gives you exact same weightage of the ingredients every time you're doing it. So I prefer doing it that way. So it is all up to you the way you want to do it. I have measured my ingredients using the grammage. So I have the white sugar, which is white granulated sugar, which is 50 grams. I have brown sugar, which is 40 grams. I have butter. Make sure it's at room temperature. It is 120 grams. And then I have flour, which is 185 grams, and 3 grams of baking soda is already mixed in there. I have salt, which is 5 grams. I have vanilla essence. I have 1 egg. Vanilla essence is like, you need like 3 to 5 grams, that's about it. I have sour cream, which is 60 grams. And I have chocolate chips, which we're gonna add it in the end, which is 250 grams. There is a procedure of mixing all these ingredients. First, you take fat, which is our butter, and then you cream it with the sugar, which is called our creaming method. What we do is, like, we cream that fat and sugar, and later on we add our egg, and then we add our dry ingredients, which I've already added here. So I'm gonna start mixing. I'm sorry I might not be able to show you inside, but I will do it like as we go through. I will try to show you the bowl right here. So I'm gonna add my white sugar in there. Now I have my brown sugar. Now I have this butter, which I'm going to add it in there. There are three attachments for this mixer. We're going to use this paddle attachment. This is used to make to cream all the products as well, which can be used in cookies as well. I use this one for banana bread as well, which we'll do it later once the time comes. So we're going to start doing that. So while this is mixing, I'm going to crack my egg, which is right here. What you have to do is, most of the time when you're creaming the products, the butter and the sugar, it's always sticking on the sides. So what you have to do is you have to keep scraping the bowl from the sides, from the bottom, so it's properly creamed and it's like a fluffy texture. You always start it with a slow speed and then we go further, like increasing the speed later on. In the meantime, I'm going to add my salt in my flour mixer as well, where I have flour and baking soda, and I'm gonna mix it through. Okay, I'm gonna show you right here. So this is the way it looks, and it's gonna get even more fluffy. So I'm gonna scrape the sides, and it looks like this. If you have any questions or anything like that, so why we are doing this, or if you don't understand anything what we're mixing, feel free to write in comments, and in the next video I'll try to answer as many questions as possible, and we'll take it from there. So we are good to add our next ingredient, which is vanilla essence and egg. So always try to keep it at a low speed once you add that, and I just have one egg right now. If you have more eggs, you always have to add one egg at a time. Don't always throw all your eggs in there. Always try to add one egg at a time. So now is the time to scrape the sides because it's all sticking on the sides. So I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to turn it up. And we're going to start one more time. Make sure that egg is properly mixed in that ingredient. So at this stage our mixer looks something like this. So at this time we are going to add our flour mixture. I had salt, flour and baking soda in there. Whenever you add any dry ingredient in this, make sure do not over mix it. So or you have to just mix it that as far that the whole thing is combined together, and that's about it, and you just stop right there. See, it's all sticking right here. So you can just take everything off from here, and then you can clean the sides and mix it with your spatula. At this time we're going to add our sour cream. And we're gonna mix on a slow speed. And that's about it. Same thing. Our main thing is that we're not gonna over mix it. So as far the whole ingredients are combined together, and that's about it. So you don't have to over mix it. So even if the little bit is left over, so you can just always mix it with your spatula. So at this time, if you look, our mixer looks something like this. So at this time, we are going to add our chocolate chips. And same thing, like your batter is already mixed. All you have to do is just combine these together, and that's about it. You don't have to over mix your dough. Yep, that's about it. So it's sticking there. So take everything off. So that's our chocolate chip dough. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this in the fridge, which is the best thing to do instead of scooping it on a tray right away. So you always put it in the fridge or even a freezer for like 10 minutes, that's pretty good. So after it's in the fridge, then we're gonna take it out again and then we're gonna start scooping it. I just took out my chocolate chip cookie dough, which looks something like this. So we are ready to scoop it on a tray here I have. So I have a small tray, small oven, so I might be able to scoop maximum of 6 cookies on a tray. So I have a large ice cream scoop. You can always use a small one if you want. It's your personal choice. And I have water right here, which I'm gonna dip my ice cream scoop in here so my batter doesn't stick there. So I'm gonna take some right here and scoop it right on the tray. So I have my 6 cookies straight up here, just like this. I have a fork here as well. Same thing, it's your personal choice. I like doing it. If you want to leave it just like as it is, that's perfectly fine as well. But I always prefer dipping my spoon in water, fork in water, and just press them gently right on top. So these look something like this. So which are ready to go in the oven now. I have already preheated my oven for 350 degrees. So I'm gonna place them in. So depending on your oven, it might take anywhere from 12 to 15 minutes in the oven, I guess. So let's take it from there. Okay, so this is the best time of the baking, which I love the most, especially when something comes out fresh from the oven. That aroma is just like out of the world. So our chocolate cookies are ready, so they look something like this. At this time, I'm going to tell you one more thing. Once you take out these cookies or any other cookies as well, and when you press them from top, they are still soft. So most of us think that they are still underbaked, so we put them back in the oven. So no, that's not the case. We don't have to do that, because if you see, we already have that brown color from the sides, but once you press them, they are soft. So don't get confused. You don't have to put them back in the oven. They are ready. The tray is still hot. So what's going to happen is, because of the hot tray, the cookies are still baking, cooking from the bottom. So let them settle down. After like few minutes, maximum like 3 to 4 minutes, they should be okay. They're going to settle down and they'll be good to go. So these were chocolate chip cookies. That was our first tutorial. I hope you liked that one. Do try this recipe at home and do give me your feedback. I'm going to tell you about these ingredients, the way it works. We added baking soda, we added flour, what exactly those ingredients were doing during our mixing process, during our baking process. So what is the main concept behind that? If you want to take something out, what's the substitution you can go for? Or if you have any questions, feel free to write in comments and I will try to answer all of them in my video. And after that, we'll be coming up with a new product, new recipe tutorial. And until then, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay home.